application profile is ready, and go to create the application. Here itself you need to give the stat application and you need to pass the application profile over here. So go to stat where we have created the application profile, dim1 application profile, save it, and user management project. User management project is something I need to go and show that one also. So navigating to, shared services, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I am not saying what is workspace, what is shared services. Otherwise I need to explain that one also. Okay, is it fine, right, to you?
Yeah, that's fine, but I'm okay if you want to just, just start with the basics too. That's totally fine.
Okay, just what I am saying is, the topics basic level. That's what I am saying. I'm going with shared services. Otherwise, I need to explain what is shared services. Shared services for using for security. I need to explain those concepts also. That much is not required, I guess, right?
Not really, but yeah, that's fine. You can go ahead.
Yeah, that's what. So here we need to navigate the shared services, administer, and shared services console. So here we have the application groups. In application groups only, we can associate the applications while creating the applications, whether it is HFM, FDM, or SBase, or planning, anything else that we need to associate it with shared services to provide the security to users for those applications, right? So here I have already created one of the group here itself. If you want to create any group, you can create it here itself. And I want to create the application under my HFM group. For that reason, I am creating the application groups. These application groups that I am using while creating the application. So here itself I am using stat. Browse and take this application profile. And here I am taking the HFM application groups to create the application. Here you need to take.
I have a question here. So the cluster that you have selected is HFM cluster. Does it mean it's a data source?
No, it's a server.
It's not like, when we create planning application, we have to create the data source.
No. Yeah, I understand. And I understand. But it is not like that. Data source is different. Because of where you are going to store the data that is saying while create the application for planning, right? But here the thing is server is there. Servers are under cluster. Okay.
Sure.
So it's something infra side.
Okay.
So
that's a relational. It's a relational table, or this is just a server information, like a.
Yeah, server information only. Say I will give you a better example on that. When you create the SBase application, where it is going to store? In SBase server, right?
Yeah.
In the similar way, when you are creating the application, where it is going to store means in the HFM cluster.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Create application. So your application has been created. Now you have to register the application. Register. For the same information, for the same cluster, you need to register the application also under HFM application group. So once you created, you can go and see your shared services, whether your application has been created or not. So your application has been created, right? Stat application, which we have created right now. In previous, we have comma test and RT. Now we have this stat application, right?
Yeah.
So this application has been created. So I am going to navigate my application consolidation, and my application is stat. I am going to log in my HFM application. So your application has been created and you have logged in into your stat application also. But here the thing is you have only, what I can say, 3 dimensions only. One is year, period and view dimension, right? Rest of the dimensions that we haven't created. We have some custom dimensions also, but we haven't standard dimensions like scenario, account, entity, those type of dimensions that we haven't created so far. What we have to do to create them? Here if I go with to create any data form or data grid, it will throw error message because of you haven't created your POV, mean you haven't loaded your metadata to create the POV, right? So for that what we have to do is we need to go and create manage metadata and create here itself you need to define rest of the metadatas numbers. Okay. It is saying, it is asking about your custom combinations while creating the metadata. Just I am taking the sample example from already we have stat application. No audit phase. So here this is already defined application, mean like which is available in our applications. So whatever the custom dimensions, these custom dimensions only that we have created in application profile. If you remember, I will show you once again that also. Right, this is the product, market, BS flow, maturity, functional currency, monthly gap and nature, right? These are the 7 custom dimensions that we have while defining the application profile, right? And these same custom dimensions that we are using while creating the metadata as well. So first you need to check product name, market, BS flow, maturity, functional currency and multi gap and nature. So these are the custom dimensions that we have, and we need to create the account dimension and any other dimensions that we need to create. BS flow, this is the custom dimension, and currencies, total currencies, functional currency and multi gap, nature, everything that we need to define by using the metadata manager.
So you had this metadata file actually from the other application, right?
Yes, that's what just I'm saying. This is already defined one. If you would like to go, we can go on edit customs, and you need to say about your custom dimensions, products, okay,
Yeah.
customers, channels, nature, BS flow. You need to define, click on OK. Then only you can see those custom dimensions in the drop down list. Nature, products, right?
Yeah.
What we have created, BS flow.
Can you select account?
Yeah, just give me, yeah, and I'm going with that. See here itself, you can't see the custom combinations, okay, so far. Okay, and when you select the account, it is saying that you must define the custom dimension information before reading metadata. We need to define the custom dimensions, okay. So because of 2 custom dimensions are must, without doing any 2 custom dimensions we can't move forward, okay. We should require 2 custom dimensions. Why it is required going forward, we will know that one. Because of some translations, when you want to provide that exchange rates, you must need 2 custom combinations, 2 custom dimensions. For that reason you should have 2 custom dimensions at least while creating the metadata, okay. So now I am giving only 2 custom dimensions, customers and products and click on OK, and you can see those custom dimensions in the drop down list, products and customers. Okay, so now you can select account dimension and you can able to give the hierarchy structure over here. See here itself, one thing, the metadata that we can build based on one is by using the DRM application. Okay, if you have the DRM application, you can use the DRM application to maintain the metadata. Otherwise, you can use this manage metadata options and you can create the hierarchy structure. Okay.
Okay. Can you also like import any like how we do in planning and stuff? Can we import the metadata file?
Yeah, import metadata is there. Import metadata means once we created the metadata, we can load that metadata into HFM application. Okay, I will let you know that point, but just we are in the part of how to create the metadata.
Okay, sure.
So now we are in the part of how to create the metadata. We should have metadata. Once we have the metadata, then only we can load into our required applications, right? So we should have metadata. So we need to create the metadata in three ways that I am saying. One is for DRM, another one is by using the metadata manager. By using this one, you can create gross profit, net profit, like this, your hierarchies, and we need to define all our properties. Okay, save this file first in a .xml format or .app format. Okay, these two formats only will support to create the metadata file for HFM. So now I am taking one of the sample one, that is stat 7, and you can see the hierarchy structure. Net income, profit and loss account, assets total, equity, liabilities, others means there itself we can have some miscellaneous things, and dynamic accounts and validation accounts. This is the information that we have to create the to load the metadata. This is already existing one which we are using for our training purpose. Okay, once your requirements are ready and you satisfied with your metadata, then only you have to load this into HFM application. Okay, then you need to start go into your HFM application and click on load option and click on application elements. So here the thing is, the first you have to load the security file. Why we need to load the security file? First we go with metadata. If we are getting any errors, what are the errors that we are getting, how to fix them. Okay.
Okay. So the metadata that you just opened up in the application, which you already had, can we also use the flat file? Like, for example, can I use the Excel spreadsheet with the entire hierarchy and try to load that into HFM here?
No, that's what I'm saying. Here, the file format that would require in the format of .xml, okay, .app format.
Okay, okay.
These two formats only will support to load the metadata into HFM application. Okay.
Okay.
And I will explain first. Just I am saying to load the metadata. Once we come back and we have to know each and every attribute in the account dimension. Okay, it would take 3 to 4 hours. Like we need to know what is the user fees calculated, is consolidated, is ICP. These properties we have to know, right?
Yeah.
Entity dimension. We have some properties in entity dimension. What are the properties? How it is exactly reflecting in the application? We have to know these things. For that reason, just I am saying how to load the metadata first and what are the options while loading the metadata. Once we load the metadata, we come back and know the attributes of each dimension and we can see the reflection in the application. So now I am moving on to load the metadata. So take metadata file .app or .xml. Take that one, and here we have the options to load the metadata. One is merge mode, another one is replace mode. What is the difference merge and replace? Say for example, your application hierarchy is a simple example. I am taking only one dimension, that is account. Okay, that you are trying to load by using the app file and already existing up metadata in the application. Your account hierarchy is net income, gross profit, sales, COGS is there. But now you are trying to load same hierarchy, but here instead of COGS you are loading purchases. Okay, when you load with merge mode and purchases and some expenses you are loading, say for example. But when you load the metadata with merge mode, what will happen means it's just overriding the new, it's just adding the new members and it's just keeping the existing members also as well. Okay, so it is going to add up your purchases and expenses also in the hierarchy of gross profit. It's a match. It is not going to delete anything. Okay, and net profit is there, so it is overriding, and if there is any property changes, those will be getting changed while loading the metadata into HFM application. If nothing is changed, just simply it will be override the existing members. Gross profit will be overridden, sales will be overridden, and cost of goods sold, which is existing one, will be still remains in the application, and whatever the new members that you are loading by using the application, those will be loaded under gross profit. That is the use of match. But when you go with replace, what will happen means it will clear your total metadata from your HFM application and will be loaded by using whatever the metadata that you are trying to load from the new app file. Okay, so merge replace means merge is just overriding the existing one and it will not delete anything which is existing in the application, even you are not loading from the app file. Okay, replace means it clears everything from your metadata from your HFM application. Later on it will be loaded from your source, mean like app file. Another two options are there: clear metadata and data and check integrity. So clear metadata means check integrity. What is the difference? What is the use of these two? Clear metadata and data. Say for example, you are in non-production environment. Say for example, you are in testing environment or dev environment, but your application is having lot of data, but your user or your business admin doesn't require the data to do some testings, and without clear the data, without clearing the data by creating the data grids, we can clear the data while loading the metadata itself only. So when you use this clear metadata and data, that information clearing all the data, intercompany transactions and journals data, everything will be cleared while loading the metadata itself only. We never use in production. Okay, this will be useful at the time of in non-production environments to do some testings. You need to clear the metadata. For that purpose, we are using this clear metadata and data option. Check integrity option. Check integrity option is being used to know whatever the metadata changes that are happen for every metadata loading. So you have some metadata in HFM application and you are trying to load by using the .app format, .app file. So if there is any changes between these two things, it will be give one report. But by seeing that report, you can identify what are the changes that are happened in your application. Okay. Now I am loading the metadata into HFM application.
So does it mean that it's comparing the new file that we are loading with the existing?
Yes.
Okay.
and you can check the log. Here you will may get some errors. This is about language errors, you can ignore it. And apart from that, we may have some security issues. If you have security issues, your application, your metadata will not be loaded. Okay, you can see here itself accounts okay, everything is okay. Then we can go and check your metadata by creating the POV. Go to documents, click on action, new data grid. Now you can able to create the data grid by using all the dimensions. Okay, fine. Up to here, like what we did is just we have created the application profile and create the application, and just we have used already existing metadata, and we try to load the metadata by using the different options, by seeing the different options. Okay, fine. But I need to say, prior to that, you need to load the security file. But in real time, the thumb rule is you need to load the security file first. Thereafter, you need to load the metadata file. How it is associated with your security? What is the relationship between security and your metadata? I will explain later on while discussing about the attributes. Okay. Now I am coming back, and we need to know our metadata properties. Just today I go with you with entity dimension properties. Okay. Up to here clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I am going with entity dimension properties. So first, dimension hierarchy level structure. You need to define your dimension hierarchy structures. What is the consolidation path that you require? Basically, HFM, what is the main usage? That is consolidation. So first of all, you have to say your consolidation path, how you want to consolidate your data. This is your total consolidation path that you need to define how you would like to see the group level data. That you have defined everything, that should be fine, everything is there. But prior to that, you need to understand the properties. Okay, so group, it's a member, is a label name, and description you can give it as your requirement, and default currency, which is the most important one. So before giving the currencies here, you need to click on currencies in the metadata and provide your total currencies over here. So these currencies will be using total how many currencies that you are using for your application. Say for example, you are using 20 currencies in your organization, then use 20 currencies, 15 currencies, then 20 currencies. Whatever the currency that you are using, you can give it here. And description, scaling. Scaling is nothing but how you are storing the data. Say for example, absolute values means your value 1 lakh, in a sense 1 lakh is there. If it is 1 means it could be 10,000. If it is 2 means it's hundreds, 1,000. If it is 3 means it's 1,000. That means 100. Did you get the difference?
Not really. Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, means scaling in the sense how you are saying your data. Say for example, it's the absolute value, right?
Yeah.
Absolute value, my absolute value is 1 lakh. When I say my scaling is 1, it would be working as tens. When I can say 2 means it would be working as hundreds. When I can say 3 means it would be working as thousands.
Okay, okay, got it.
Okay, then your values will be coming like this in the books of accounts. Okay,
Okay.
that is the use of scaling, how you are defining. This translation operator and display IC transactions we will see at the time of intercompany transactions. These two parameters will be associated with your intercompany transactions. I will explain at that time. The basic thing is currencies will be using like to create how many how many currencies that you are being used for your application. Okay. Once you define, you can create your entity hierarchy structure and see your default currency. What is the default currency for that entity? You need to give the default currency. Here in China, I am giving CNY, Germany euros, Colombia COP, UK GBP. Okay, default currency based on the entity that you need to provide it here. And allow adjustments and allow adjustment from children. These two options that we are using to adjust the data. Initially in demo that we as discussed, we can load the trial balance data into HFM application. That's fine. But once the data has been loaded, everything has been done, some modifications has been happened in your trial balance. And I need to reclassify the data into HFM application also as well. We can achieve that one to do the adjustments in HFM application by using the general concept. If you would like to do the general postings, what we have to do is you have to enable allow adjustments or allow adjustment from children for that entities. Then only system supports to do the modifications, in the sense adjustments to the application. We will go in detail while we will work on general module. At this moment, what we need to know is allow adjustment and allow adjustment from children. Both attributes will be using to create the generals for which entities you require. You need to enable them. Is ICP, which entities that you are working as intercompany entities that you need to enable them as is ICP, so that that entity is working as entity dimension as well as ICP dimension. In our example,